Thank you for that short recess. We will now resume with the next item on our agenda, which is text amendment TA 26-01 to consider proposed amendments to chapters 2, 4, 5, and 11 of the Tupelo Development Code for congregate living and mixed-use downtown guidelines. Mr. Newman, has this been advertised as a public notice, and were there any responses?
Madam Chair, I'm just going to take the liberty to run through this real quick, if the committee's okay with it. This text amendment, we had a public hearing at the last meeting in May for the congregate living text amendments, also for the downtown guidelines, the downtown design guidelines. The congregate living aspect of this, the purpose is to amend the development code to establish definitions, classifications, and regulations for congregate living uses. And so in that respect, we're asking to amend Chapter 2 for the definitions, Chapter 4 for the zoning table use and districts, and then also Chapter 11, supplemental use and site standards and for related purposes. With the committee's permission, I'd like to just go through these changes very briefly. We've worked through these in a work session, so with your permission, I will proceed.
Please proceed.
The first amendment is to Chapter 2, where we strike some existing definitions regarding congregate living and redefine or clarify the definition of family and then congregate living itself. For the definition of family, the new definition as proposed will be an individual or two or more persons related by blood, marriage, legal guardianship, or adoption living together as a single housekeeping unit, or a group of not more than 5 unrelated persons living together as a single housekeeping unit within a dwelling unit. A family shall not include an arrangement meeting the definition of congregate living. What we do here is clarify the definition of family and of congregate living, and we've broken congregate living down into 3 uses: congregate living 1, 2, and 3. Congregate living 1 would be very similar to a family unit. A congregate living 1 arrangement would be a situation where you have not more than 5 residents, or no on-site staff or structured services, or functionally equivalent to a single housekeeping unit but not meeting the definition of a family. So for example, you may have 5 individuals living in a house together, but they are not related by blood. There are no services provided at the address, and so it's just 5 people living in a house together. Congregate living 2 the following guidelines would constitute congregate living 2 when a living arrangement contains 6 to 16 residents, or provides on-site supervision or staffing, or provides supportive services such as counseling or personal care.
I have a question on
Yes,
the draft that I have, and I may have an older one. Under congregate living 1, the or is not there.
Correct.
That is correct. So a congregate living arrangement with not more than 5 residents. So if you don't have more than 5 residents, that's congregate living 1, unless you get down to some of these other situations if they're providing on-site supervision. So there is a difference, and I'm glad you brought that up. So or and those words do matter in these definitions. That is on purpose, is my point.
So it's on purpose to not have the ors
Correct.
under 1,
That's
but
correct.
have the ors under 2 and 3.
That's right.
Okay.
So basically, congregate living 1, they cannot have on-site supervision. They cannot have more than 5 individuals. So even if you have 6 individuals, then it's automatically kicked up to
Okay.
congregate living 2.
Okay.
So
just
basically,
making
all
sure.
3 bullets have to apply.
That's correct.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, thank you. It's a great point. All right, congregate living 3 is going to be more than 16 residents with continuous or scheduled staffing supervision. This is going to be more of your medical care, custodial care, high turnover and transient occupancy. So this is more of your institutional setting. So congregate living 1, imagine single family unit, single family residential use, no services, but not related. Congregate living 2 is going to be kind of a step up, 6 to 16 residents with, this could have on-site supervision, and then congregate living 3 is going to be more of, again, institutional uses. If you flip over to chapter 4, the use table we're recommending congregate living 1 uses be allowed the same locations that a single-family residential unit can be located. Congregate living 2 in the residential zones will be a flexible or compatible use, and we have in Chapter 11 provided some additional guidelines and standards that must be met in order for that flexible or compatible use to be met. And then congregate living 3 is allowed generally in the same locations as institutional uses.
Just for clarification, the use by flexibility, does that mean that you guys in-house can make that approval?
No, so any flexible use must be approved by the planning committee. A compatible use can be approved in-house by the staff after a public hearing is held.
Did part of the table get cut off?
It did not. I guess technically it kind of did, but it's just a line. There was
Okay.
no additional information there.
Okay.
And then we left the separation requirement. Currently, congregate living facilities in mixed-use zoning districts cannot be located within 1,500 feet of each other. Outside of mixed-use zones, there's a 2,500-foot buffer, and those buffers remain intact. We've brought some clarification regarding the code classifications of the development code, identifying congregate living 1, 2, and 3, and how that lines up with the building code and the NFPA fire code. We've instituted some buffering, landscaping requirements between residential uses and congregate living uses, and required compatible and flexible use applications to include a full site plan, operational plan, occupant load, staff plan, parking analysis, fire safety plan, and an accessibility plan. Additionally, and this is important, congregate living uses shall be registered as a rental property with the City of Tupelo's rental program, and they must maintain current contact and operational information with the city, and they will be subject to the Tupelo Rental Inspection Program every 2 years inspection, along with the Tupelo Fire Department Annual Inspection Program.
Okay, so do we need to vote on each one?
Yes, I think that would be appropriate.
Be cleaner?
Just for the, yes.
Okay. Since nobody is here to speak for or against, do we have any motions to accept the text amendment for the congregate living?
I move that we approve.
Scott?
Second.
Aaron? All in favor? Unanimous. All right, we now move on to the downtown Main Street, Tupelo Main Street, design guideline revisions. Do you feel the need, Mr. Newman, to read through everything, or can we reference the
Miss-
printed material that's part of our?
Look, just for the sake of the record, I would like for Ms. Randall to come up with Downtown Main Street Association and make a very brief, offer a very brief overview of these changes, and then we will move on. Thank you, Ms. Randall.
Thank you, Mr. Newman and committee. We've gone over this in your work session. We have 12 revisions to the downtown Tupelo Main Street design. Design committee has brought these for your review and approval. These are not heavy-handed, but they were revisions that were needed. The design committee, the design guidelines, were done in 2012. So these are the first revisions that we have had since 2012. So, like I said, there are 12 different revisions. And I think probably the most important one is in reference to paint colors in the downtown overlay. The other ones refer to keeping the historic integrity when remodeling buildings and residences as well, commercial and residences as well.
I think that pretty well sums it up. Brings a little bit of clarity to some of the
Are there
things we
any
deal with.
questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Committee have any further discussion on this? are we ready to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the downtown Tupelo Main Street Association design guideline revisions.
My second.
Is there any further discussion about the motion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor? And it is unanimous. The motion passes. Do you want to tell yourself what to do?
I think I got this,
I think
Leslie.
you got that. All right. So if there is no further business, we can move on to closing. Our next work session should be June 29th. Do we have any applications that we're looking at?
Let me say this. First of all, I know Kim and I both will be out of town that week. Kim, do we have anything on the agenda?
Not all.
Okay.
Okay.
Patrick? Okay. Pat, do we have anything that you need to? So let me say this. We are to a point. No, we're to a point we will be ready in the next few weeks to bring the comprehensive plan to you guys for review and a vote. I know it's in the midst of summer, and I know several of us will be in and out for different work, trips. So we will, right now, we will not schedule a work session for June, and we're meeting in July, but with the understanding we will come back with a special called meeting either late June or early July for planning for the comprehensive plan review.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Do we have a motion for ending our meeting?
I'm gonna return.
Let's stay longer.
Do you want to stay? Do we have a motion?
Again.
Aaron,
Mark.
there we go. We are
Patty's not here to
done.
make the motion.
Pam and who?
Yes,
Aaron.
ma'am.
Pam and Aaron.
All right, Mark. Thank you so much. Enjoy it. Sorry. Yes,